Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. I think Islam hates us.
Mosques being burned down, people being attacked for just looking like they might be Muslim.
We're really hurting right now as a country. Hate crimes against Muslims and Islamophobia is on the rise. 1 in 3 Muslim kids in America right now prefer to not tell anyone that they're Muslim. And 1 out of every 2 feel like they're not sure if they can be both American and Muslim at the same time. My youngest sibling told me, don't worry, Tariq, no one at school knows that I'm Muslim. You know, really hurt me to hear him say that. This is not the America that I want for my siblings, for my kids in the future.
With his organization, Celebrate Mercy, he's done these amazing projects, raising tons of money in the Muslim community to fix the Jewish cemetery that was desecrated in St. Louis.
Our goal was $20,000. We hit that goal in 3 hours.
Getting condolence letters from Muslim people around the world to give to Ambassador Chris Stevens' family.
Which it says has been attracting an average of 1 letter a minute.
Just amazing gestures that build bridges.
On Saturday in Pittsburgh at the Tree of Life Synagogue, a mass shooter murdered 11 worshipers. Hours after the shooting, a Muslim group started a crowdfunding site for victims with the goal of raising $25,000. So far, they've raised over $140,000. Tarek El-Masidi, the activist who started the page, explained, "We wish to respond to evil with good."
Love Thy Muslim Neighbor is the most ambitious campaign that we have undertaken as an organization, and it really hopes to tackle Islamophobia, hatred, and misunderstanding within an American context, like head on. 6 out of 10 Americans say that they don't know a Muslim personally. A couple of years ago, I saw an article posted about a campaign in Norway that was called the Tea Time campaign. The idea was, let's get non-Muslim Norwegians to meet Muslim Norwegians for the first time over a cup of tea to have a raw conversation.
Jeg heter Osman Najmi.
Jeg heter Huda.
Mohammed Arif. Mitt navn Dahir Ahmed Haji.
And the hope was to reduce Islamophobia by scaling these tea parties across the country. The response was viral. They could not find enough Muslim families to host tea parties. And even the king and queen of Norway got involved, and like the queen of Norway and the crown princess of Norway visited a Muslim home and had tea with them.
Yeah.
Anti-Muslim sentiments in Norway dropped by 40% after this campaign had ended. When I saw those results, I was shocked. So it really actually motivated me to go to Norway myself. I flew there. I met with some of the organizers of the Tea Time campaign. The idea is to replicate the success they had in America among a population of over 300 million people. Go into a community where there's a lot of misunderstanding, misconceptions, Islamophobia, but there's also a lot of Muslims. Recruit Muslim families to engage in a series of acts of kindness where they interact with people who have never met Muslims. This is really a kindness campaign.
To care about one another and to get to know one another and to really put that concern for the neighbor in action.
You can argue with a Muslim about their beliefs or about ISIS, but you can't argue with how good like the biryani tastes, or like how good the chai is. We've brought on an all-star advisory committee, people like Dalia Mogahed. Imam Zaid Shaker, co-founder of Zaytuna College. Dr. Ingrid Mattson, the former president of the Islamic Society of North America.
Imam Omar Suleiman, one of the largest Muslim influencers, imams, scholars.
Thank you. And I recently met with the founder and CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, who became a supporter and an advisor on this campaign. Later today, I'll be speaking with Kari. Oh, hi.
I just want to say hi to my husband because he just said.
Yeah. What's your name?
I'm Muhammad.
Muhammad. Oh, okay, nice to meet you, Muhammad. She was the director of the Anti-Racism Center that waged that tea time campaign in Norway.
Just very day-to-day basic thing, inviting someone over for tea. And I think people were hungry for that, to just talk and not scream.
When you get there, you'll start making the chai, inshallah?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, yeah, they'll like that. That'll be good.
The house party we did in Princeton was the first stop of a nationwide tour for the Love Thy Muslim Neighbor effort.
That's what it's all about.
That night was like really critical for us to gauge how the rest of the fundraising tour will go. And so I really wanted to make sure everything was perfect.
Pan, how's the chai going? I could use some of that right now, honestly.
It's powder, and it has a bunch of herbs that my grandmother taught me from India.
He's the chai walla. Celebrate mercy.
It brings out some meaningful discussions, and that's the beauty of chai.
We're heading to Knoxville, Tennessee. We're heading to Chicago. We're heading to Michigan. We're heading to California, Florida, North Carolina, and also other places in New York and New Jersey.
I love to cook, I love to host, and I love to feed people. It connects and it makes connection with people, and it makes people respect each other.
That first house party was when the campaign went public.
How do we know if our neighbor has any problems or needs if we, as Muslims, don't even know our next door neighbor's names?
We raised more money that night at that house party than any other house party we'd ever done before.
What do you got there?
This is some homemade baklava from Chicago, just made last night by an auntie in Chicago. So this is your piece here.
Okay, thank you. No, wrong. This is my piece here.
So I just arrived here at the TYT Network Studios, the Young Turks. It's a huge opportunity to reach a very large audience. This is a show that reaches 6.7 million people daily.
Back on the Young Turks. We got a great guest for you guys. He's in the studio. Tariq Al-Masidi joins us now. Now you're doing a program called Love Thy Muslim Neighbor.
We've raised now, within a year, about $400,000. We need at least half of our goal to launch the campaign. So if we can just get to 500.
All right.
Great, thank you. I hope I didn't appear too nervous.
Not at all.
Okay, good.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
I felt it went really well. I mean, Cenk asked excellent questions. He even turned to me afterwards, like right after the interview, and literally told me, like, you're doing God's work.
I wish we could go back to America where, like, both Republicans and Democrats are good guys who just disagree, right?
Yeah. I hope civility can come back. We'll see. We'll see. So,
Okay.
Cool, man. Take care, Cenk.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot.
people are giving because now is the time to spread peace and break down hate, to respond to evil with good. Now is the time to do that in America.
The possibilities are so exciting about what it can say about humanity and how people can open their hearts and minds.
It can make the entire world and definitely this country a better, more inclusive, more peaceful, and more understanding place.